I've got the pleasure of catching up with AZ ahead of Flashpoint 3. And first of all, I want to talk about your journey so far this year as a player, because unfortunately we did see North, the organisation, disbanding at the beginning of 2021. So what was that process for you like? Because you were on the side of that organisation for almost 4 years as a player.
Yeah, I mean, I got benched in late November 2020. So I was actually on the bench when the things happened with North, and I can't tell like exactly what happened because we don't really know for sure. I mean, we have our ideas, but I've been on the bench, so for me, like it's sad to see the North organization shut down because it's been such a long or such a big part of my career, and both in ups and downs. But yeah, I mean, I guess there's a valid reason for it, but yeah, I'm happy where I am now, and just gonna look forward to the next project.
Yeah, let's talk about that next project, because we see you coming on the side of Hyenas now with some of the ex-North players, a couple of new players coming into it. So can you tell me a bit about how this new organization's kind of formed together, how this new team came together, and why you picked up certain players?
Yeah, I mean, we started to talk about like making a new project. Me, Gate, and Kerbai. We always been like pretty good friends outside the game as well. So, and it made sense because everyone was kind of on the bench as well. And we talked about getting in Borup, who just got benched from Heroic as well. And then we wanted to try out like a new talent. And then the other guys mentioned Fessor. I only heard his name a few times, and I didn't really know much about him. But he's definitely a guy to look out for in the future. And yeah, I mean, right now it's just a project of like 4 to 5 guys who's been benched and like found each other. But I think the chemistry and the synergy within the team is actually really good. And so far we have been doing really good in practice. So we are looking forward to like putting it into practical like official games right now in Flashpoint, and where we get to like play against the best teams.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about Fessor, obviously the new kind of young star coming into this roster as well. So you said that you didn't really know too much about him before you picked him up. So yeah. How did the team kind of discover him, and why did you specifically pick him to be coming into the team?
I think we were like, in the beginning we were like 3 guys, me, Gate, and Kerbai, who talked about doing this team, and then the things happened with Heroic and Nico and Borup. So we called Borup, and he was down to try to play out to try this project, and then we just needed like the last guy, and some of the other guys said like, "This is FPL talent. We should try out if you wanted to have like a talent on the team," and yeah, that's pretty much where we got him from.
So what does he bring to the team? What kind of role is he taking on within Hyenas?
Well, it's still a really new team and new project. So right now we're testing out a lot of things as well. For me as well, I'm playing a whole new role. But yeah, right now he's the young guy, and it's just nice to have like a young guy who doesn't really tilt or anything. He's just like, let me play, and there's not much bad to say, you know. There's always like, usually when people are experienced and they have some kind of ego or something, there's always been like, they're not as easy to move with as a new guy would be. And right now he's just listening, and he's actually been pretty surprising, and he's really clever in the game as well.
So you mentioned there that you're also going to be switching up your role a little bit. Can you tell us exactly what that entails?
Yeah, actually I'm doing like a completely switch. Like I'm trying out the AWP role right now. So that will be a big surprise, and probably a big question to a lot of people as well. But for me, like at some point of my career, I always wanted to try like the AWP role, and I think in the current state of CS and just in the world right now, I think right now is probably the best time to try this kind of role, instead of like being on the road and have to try out like a new role against the best teams in the world. And so yeah, I mean, for me the timing was perfect and made the most sense for me to try out this AWP role.
Oh, that's really interesting. So how long have you been practicing in this role, and how's it kind of been going for you?
Um, Probably like around 2 months or something. I've been trying out the AWP, and it's like it's not great, but it's decent right now, and I'm improving every day. So that's positive. But yeah, it's completely new playstyle I have to learn as well, and new positionings, and I usually can't do the same thing I did as before. So I have to learn a lot of new stuff, and yeah, it kind of make you respect all the other AWPers, because it's a really difficult role to play. But right now I'm just like positively improving every day. So yeah.
And looking at some of the other AWPers you kind of mentioned there, is there anybody you're kind of taking inspiration from? Anybody you're kind of trying to recreate style of, or are you kind of doing your own thing and trying to sort of reinvent your own style?
Yeah, I think I try to watch like every AWPer just to see like how they play at different positions, etc. But I think for me in the beginning, as on playing this new role, I think it's important that you learn how to play with it in the beginning. Of course, I always been like the second AWP of our teams most of the time, so I know how to like kind of use it, but it's a completely different role when you have to play it as a main AWP. So yeah, for me, it was very important for me to feel comfortable with the AWP before trying to implement like other guys' play styles within my play style as well. So, but I do take like different kind of peaks or setups with the AWP from other teams or players, and that helps me a bit as well. But for me, it was important to feel comfortable with it on my own.
Yeah, and speaking of the roles of the other players on the team as well, are we going to see any switch ups for some of the other ex-North guys? Is there anything different for Borup coming into this new project?
I don't think there's much new from Borup. I think he's a very versatile player and a good team player. So I think there might be a few positions or something that he's trying out, but not the biggest change. And of course, Gate in game leading as he was in the end of North as well. But besides that, nothing big.
So can you tell me a little bit about how the practice has been going? You said that's been kind of your main focus with the team so far. I haven't seen you guys playing an official just yet. So how's that been going? What have you guys been kind of focusing on as a team?
Yeah, first of all, we just wanted to try out and just play together, see how everything works, and just get a feeling of the game. Also because like a lot of us has been on the bench for a few months, so it took a few weeks just to get like back into the feeling of the game and learning the meta again. But yeah, it's been up and down, mostly up. Been playing. It's hard when you're a new team because it's hard to play or just find practice against one of the best teams in the world. So we've been practicing against like not bad teams, but not in the top. So it's hard for us to like completely say that it will work and we're just gonna do completely great against every team. But we played against almost any team on the rankings, and it's been good. We destroyed people. We also got destroyed a few times, but that's how practice is, and you can never really rely on practice. That's what we learned over the years as well. Everything is different when it comes down to officials. So yeah.
And in terms of how you would describe Hyena's playstyle, how different is it from the ex-North kind of core that we saw? Is there anything you're bringing? Obviously, you're talking about the different roles of the team, but would you describe yourself as being any different to this former North core?
Yeah, I would say we are like a completely different team. I think we have way more freedom, and people can do. I wouldn't say they can do as they want, but we are way better than. We want to have this playstyle of reacting on each other, and we have this. We have a structure, and people can do something out of that, and people will either react to it or, yeah. We just want to be a reactive team and be like unpredictable as well, and I think it's gonna be a playstyle that can destroy people. Could also like go the other way around. So I wouldn't say a random playstyle, but it's a more like risky playstyle.
And just looking at your first opponents coming into Flashpoint 3, it's going to be Fun plus Phoenix. So first of all, what are you kind of making of their form as a team as of late in
for us, like I think you have to be careful of every team. I think every team can beat everyone, and that's how it's been for a few years now as well. So we just gotta respect like what they have been doing and what they can do, and we just, for us, it's really important that we just like focus on our own play style and our own game, and just because we're such a new team and we are still learning a lot of new stuff. So for us, we just have to like try to use their like weaknesses and then just play on our strengths, and that's pretty much it.
And I just wanted to ask, going back to FPX, obviously we see farlig being the AWPer on that side of things. So how do you feel like you two are going to be comparing when we go into the server in this first matchup?
Yeah, this is a really weird thing you have to get used to, because usually I never really compare myself to other players, but now you kind of have to do it because that's the only role you're playing against, pretty much. I mean, I never really like think about like who I'm playing in different positions. I just play them as I feel confident and how I want, and of course out of preparation. Then I don't really care who we're facing. I'm not gonna be doing different stuff because it's another player. Only maybe because I know how the player likes to play. But that's it. I'm just gonna play my game and do what I feel comfortable in, and that's what's gonna like fire me up.
And staying on the topic of Danish AWPers, I do want to ask your take on Device, obviously moving over to NIP, a bit of a shock. I don't think anybody was expecting to see this roster move happen. So what was your initial reaction? How are you feeling about it, looking at it?
I was really surprised, just because that usually no news comes out today without like a report or something getting leaked. So that was a huge bump, and I mean, I don't know what happened in Astralis, but I get his his view on it, and I get where he wanted to go with it. Of course, I don't think anyone expected it, neither did I, but yeah, I mean, he lives in Stockholm, and maybe he wanted to get closer to it, but I don't think that was like the main reason. I can't be sure, of course, but I mean, yeah, it will be weird to see when you see Astralis play without Device, and it's going to be weird to see him on the new roster as well.
And in terms of the other competition that we see at Flashpoint 3, who do you feel potentially your biggest rivals coming into the competition?
I wanna say our biggest rival is probably like, I don't know, Heroic or something, just because that was probably them in North. But right now we're such a splitted team, and Kjaerbye coming from FaZe, me and Gate from North, Bro from Heroic, so, and fessor from Blue Jays. So right now I don't think we have like a rivalry, because we're just such a split team, and no one is like, yeah. But if I have to mention one, I probably want to say Heroic, even though they're far ahead right now.
Yeah, in terms of the team's confidence coming into Flashpoint 3, how confident are you that you're going to be making a dent in this competition and pushing it further into the playoffs?
I mean, we've been doing good practice, so it's really hard to say when you haven't like put it into like the official games yet. But our playstyle is pretty much built around being reactive and confidence. So I want to say we can go really far, and that's what we're waiting on as well.
Well, AZ, an absolute pleasure to get to catch up with you again. Thoroughly looking forward to seeing HYENAS entering the server at Flashpoint 3, and best of luck for that first game.
Thank you.